resist it. I know I am always trying to stay away from the cameras, and I try to tell myself that I don't want to go on Instagram and talk to people, but you know what? I love to talk, and it's a part of my DNA, and it's okay because what I have to say is very relevant. So, for all those persons who do not know me, you've never met me, my name is Havili, and I'm from Jamaica, and I live here in Edmonton, Canada. And I'm not here to talk about Canada necessarily today, but I have a message that I want to share, and I also want to bring a word of encouragement. So, this message in particular is for hi Randy and Trudy, my VIPs. Welcome to the live. This message in particular is for my pharmacists and my pharmacisters, but any woman professional, like any professional woman. That's what I meant. The message is that you know way more than you think you know. You have a supercomputer here. You know way more than you think you know. You don't acknowledge it, and that's why a lot of us suffer from imposter syndrome, myself included. I had the opportunity to be featured in a book that was published by my alma mater, and that book was published this year, and it's sitting in our school's library, and it has been sent out to people all over the world, and that book will be around for years to come. I was selected to be featured in the book. All I had to do was take a simple headshot, like a professional headshot, and write an autobiography about myself. And I couldn't find great or good things even to write about myself after everything that I've accomplished. And then all these people are like, how did you move to Canada? How did you get your license? How did you do this? How did you do that? How did you do your hair? How did you get $1 million on your credit card? How did you pay off your student loan of $3 million? It's like we have so much to offer and pour into other people, but we get caught up in our heads. And I'm very guilty of it, and that's why I'm trying to get out of that shell. So the message is for all these professional people. You know way more than you think you know, and you're not giving yourself the credit that you deserve. And this message is really inspired by a conversation I had recently. I don't know why I'm feeling so emotional about this. Just give me a second. Guys, if you don't know me, you know that I'm a co-crier. When people are having difficulties, I feel their pain. It is one of those things that it's a strength and it's also a weakness, because I can empathize and I can sympathize and I can feel people's literal pain. I recently spoke to this pharmacist, and she has been sitting at home for 2 years. Now, this pharmacist has a license. She's licensed in a different jurisdiction from where she is currently located. And we don't know about the power of the internet and the capability and the algorithms. Like, we come on Facebook Live, we come on Instagram Live, we go on LinkedIn. We're on all these platforms, and we don't know the power of just being in the social space. As I just mentioned before, we're caught up in our heads. We have imposter syndrome, and so we don't put ourselves out there. I spoke to this pharmacist. She's been at home for 2 years because of personal circumstances. But the fact of the matter is that she's a brilliant person. She has knowledge that nobody else has. She just does not have the right association or the right people to pull her in a corner and say, hey, do some mind work, get into a community, join a club. Like, you probably, if you can sit at home for 2 years, then you have to pay your bills, you have to eat your food or whatever. You must have a little, like, don't be afraid of investing in you. I'm just tempted to say, honey, just pay some money and get into a community where you can get the help that you need so that you can start valuing yourself more, and then you can start offering the value that you have to bring into this world. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're a pharmacist and you're in Antarctica, and you're a pharmacist and you're in Alaska, if you're a pharmacist and you're in Cayman Islands, it doesn't matter where you are. And it's the same for any other profession. The thing about pharmacy is that we are licensed professionals and we are trusted by the public. You could stay home and develop a program. You could create a template for a care plan, and you can offer that to an institution and let them pay you for it, and they will pay you for it, because a lot of times these entities and these enterprises and these companies, they need things that we have, but we're so programmed to be employees. We're so programmed to go and sit behind that counter wearing that white coat, and it gives us a safety net. We feel safe, we feel valued. People come and they ask for our advice, they ask for everything, and we give it. And do you know who get paid for it? Your employer gets paid for it. I'm going to use a typical example. I paid millions to come to Canada. That was a personal choice. I have no regrets, no buyers or sellers remorse. I have no remorse. That was a choice of mine. Yes, when I came, the government did not take the money that I brought. I had that money, and that's how I was able to stay at home for 9 months during the pandemic without working. But let me just use this example. I came here, that was my only stream of income. That was my only stream of income. I had 2 jobs. That was my only stream of income. I came to Canada. I'm like, okay, no job. It's a pandemic. Whatever the case is, I wait until it's my time to get hired. But I could have used the knowledge that I have at that moment in time. I wasn't giving myself enough credit. I could have used that knowledge and created a program, created a template, teach somebody something that I know, because guess what? People will pay you for your information. That's what we paid the lecturers for when we went to university. That's what you pay the bank for. You go to the bank, you think you're not paying them for the information that they're providing you with. You are paying them. So I don't see the reason for any professional licensed pharmacist to be home and still not be able to make an income. Here's the thing. The minute you leave your job, the minute you step out of that dispensary, you're no longer an asset to the organization. And the reason you're an asset is because you're generating cash flow for them. That's why you're an asset to them. But you're a temporary asset. They can replace you at any time. They can just get rid of you. If you are building your own brand and building your own table and finding your own clients authentically, you don't need to go and search for he, she, and the old lady. Just use what you have. But you have to put it out there, because if you don't tell anybody, nobody will know what you have to offer them. People will remember you if you're top of mind. Every corner that you drive on, you see a McDonald's sign. If you're hungry, you might want to have a nice, healthy, home-cooked meal, or even go to a nice restaurant. But you're hungry, and the first thing that comes to mind is McDonald's, because the McDonald's sign is just right there on the corner. If you don't tell people what you have, they won't know what you have. But first, you have to recognize what you have. You have to recognize what you have in your brain, in your heart, and in your hands. I'm feeling so heartbroken that this person who is so brilliant and has so much to give, we are just always stuck in fulfillment land, because it's the system and it's how we were programmed. We're programmed to be employees. We're programmed to take marching orders. We're programmed to take instructions. But guess what? We have it within us. We just need somebody to probably just nudge us and tell us that it's there. But there's no reason for us to let them take our brilliance and utilize all of it. And that is not the reason I quit my job. And I'm just going to make a disclaimer here. I quit my job for health-related reasons where COVID is concerned. That was the reason I resigned my job. It has nothing to do. But you know what? I needed to leave the pharmacy anyway. But I was still there holding on, dragging myself, saying, oh, I'm going to work things out. Sometimes something have to just come and give you a big slap. It's like the universe come and give me a big slap and say, you need to get out of here. So I know I digress, but back to the point. If you're a pharmacist and you're licensed and you're registered, you could be in Antarctica, you could be in Alaska, you could be in the Cayman Islands, you could be in Chile, you could be in Bolivia, you could be in Uruguay, you could be in Dubai. You can stay there and serve people all over the world because you have the credibility. You have the intellectual knowledge. You have what it takes. There's no reason for us as pharmacists to accept less than, but we do. And there's no reason for us to not have employment or still be generating an income. Do you know how many millions we paid to invest in our education? I know other people paid millions too, but I'm talking specifically about a pharmacist. You know how much millions we pay for this education? We paid so much, and we go to school and they teach us all these things. How to calculate neonatal dose, how to dose adjust, how to calculate based on renal function and body weight adjustment, how to do all these things. We are not being paid for the biopharmaceutics that we studied. We're not being paid for knowing Micheles-Menten equation. We're not being paid based on what we learned in medicinal chemistry or organic chemistry or pharmaceutics. We're not being paid because they don't value us as much as we should be valued. And that's a fact. And that's the case with most professions, most careers, most jobs. That's why I'm encouraging you. Build your own brand. If you want to stay an employee, that's fine. I probably will be an employee in a couple of months when I have, feel like I've fully recovered, because I'm not compromising myself on nobody's business. Not even my own business. I'm not doing it. But the point I'm making is that we are so brilliant. We have so much to offer, and we just need to start valuing ourselves a little bit more. We need to start valuing ourselves just a little bit more. If you're a pharmacist, you are brilliant. I'm telling you that you are brilliant. And if you feel like you're going to leave one country to go to another country, if you are in the whole frame of mind of remaining an employee, it's just going to be the same thing. You're going to be in a different place, but you're going to be in the same place where your mind is concerned, where your mindset is concerned. You're not going to be paid based on the value that you're offering. You're going to be paid based off an hourly rate, which, let's face it, it's a drop in the bucket. It's a drop in the bucket. So if you know something, I've met so many pharmacists lately who are still working in retail. They're working as clinical pharmacists in hospitals. They're working, doing working with these big drug companies. They're also doing other things. Like, I met a pharmacist who is a financial planner. I met a pharmacist who's in real estate. I met a pharmacist who is a fashion designer. I met a pharmacist who talks about, let's just start with me. I know I always think about other people before themselves. I'm a pharmacist who has a business, and I help people who want to move to Canada. For example, like, there are so many things that we can do. I met a pharmacist who says she wants to do events planning. I met a pharmacist who is doing, they're doing transition of care. They're doing public speaking. They're doing so many things. You can do so many other things. You don't have to stay in your zone of excellence. Yes, you're brilliant. You got the 4.0 GPA. You graduated with your first class or near to first class. You are great. And if you don't go inside that dispensary or inside the hospital, you're not going to be paid for the value that you're bringing, because you're bringing value, but you're not being paid for the value that you're bringing. You're being paid an hourly rate, or it's basically a stipend, so that you can pay your bills, you can pay your rent or your mortgage, you can buy your food, you pay for your gas and whatever, and so you have to go back to work to get more to pay for those things again. So my encouragement to you is, find support, find a community, find people who can encourage you and inspire you and help empower you. They cannot motivate you. I hear people say, oh, I feel motivated, but no, you don't feel motivated. Motivation is intrinsic. You have to be intrinsically motivated. Find these avenues and get to work, because it is when you start doing the mind work and start acknowledging the things that you have at your disposal in your brain. We have goal. We are our own goal mind. We're our best money making machine. You can find the things you have in your brain, in your heart, and in your hands. And if you are a pharmacist or a professional woman, there's no need for you to be sitting home for a year or 2 or 3 because they're overlooking your resume. You're already qualified. You don't need an employer to qualify you. You need to find out how you can break this mold, how you can start using the things that are already in your hands and start creating for yourself. Be your own brand, be your own ambassador, be your own McDonald's with a M sign on the corner. Be your own brand, because you know what? Healthcare is changing. There are pharmacies that have these machines, these robots that are filling the prescriptions. So they don't really necessarily need a tech. Yes, they need a pharmacist to verify it, but if you know what's happening in the States with the whole pharmaceutical industry and those drug companies that are even staying in corporate in their offices, and they're also verifying these prescriptions, even though they don't have the right, they don't have the license, they don't have the training, they can just replace you. Yes, it's a legal issue right now there in the States, but the fact of the matter is, post-pandemic, a lot of jobs have become extinct. They are not coming back. A lot of people will be replaced by artificial intelligence, by things like robotics, like a lot of things. And if you're not current and you don't know what's going on, then you could get left behind. So my encouragement to you, pharmacists, you know way more than you think you know. You're some of the most brilliant people. You just need to find the right place to sit. Park yourself there. If you're sitting at home for a year, you can park yourself and do some, if you want to do some other courses, or if you find something that you're really passionate about that you can turn into a side business. You don't have to stay in your zone of excellence. You have so much more to you. You can go into your zone of genius. I never wanted to become a pharmacist growing up. I so happened to stumble on pharmacy, and I love it because, again, it allows me to talk to people. It allows me to help people, to advocate for them. But I can work in any customer service related industry because that I know is my strength. And that was highlighted to me when I was an intern. I didn't even recognize it. But the fact of the matter is that I can work in any customer, patient, or people-centric industry, and I'll be okay. I don't have to stay in a pharmacy, and you don't have to stay in a pharmacy. But if it's a case where you need to get a job and you're sitting at home for a year waiting for someone to review your resume and then they never call you, like, you have so much more that you can be offering. Sit and write a template for a care plan. Create a nice creative way. Find a nice creative. We're all creatives. Find a way to create a template for a care plan. Develop an algorithm for a particular drug condition. Like, there's so much we could do. And I don't know, like, that just made me feel so sad knowing that somebody's there and not getting an income for it. I wasn't getting an income for 9 months, but I made preparation for not having an income for at least 6 to 9 months. So I was okay. But anywhere in the world you are as a pharmacist, get on LinkedIn, start looking around, start seeing what's happening, find somebody who can help you, because I tell you, the people are out there waiting for you to show up with your brilliance and your brilliant ideas and your products and your services. When the people come to pharmacy, they don't come to your employer, they come to you because you have what they want. It's just that in school, and I'm a little upset with the education system, they don't teach financial literacy, they don't teach marketing, they don't teach anything related to business, no entrepreneurship, no nothing. And I know we all can't be entrepreneurs. Somebody has to be an employee. And I would argue with the people who say, everybody cannot have a business. Well, everybody is not in the same business. Everybody has a different thing that they want to offer. The person who is doing the plumbing and the fixture need to eat food. That means somebody can be a chef and somebody doing plumbing. The person who is the pharmacist is gonna need somebody. If you're gonna be working 14-hour shift, you're gonna need a nanny for your kids. So a nanny can have, that's a business. They don't have to just be an employee. They can have a company, and you source their services through the company. I disagree with the fact that not everybody can be an entrepreneur. It's because everybody can be an employee though, because we were programmed like that. We were trained like that. And it's just a sad state. I could talk and go on and on about it, but I'm sure you guys got the message. And I'm so thankful that you could join me for the live. I'm going to save the live. But I just felt so sad and so heartbroken that a pharmacist has been sitting at home for more than a year, no job, feeling there's no alternative. We have a lot to offer this world. So my encouragement is for somebody to take a look at their circumstances and don't think that you always need to be going to a pharmacy, because eventually when your employer decide today is your last day at work, what are you going to do after that? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? If you want to be an employee, that's great. I like being an employee, but I also like having my own thing. So I have more control over my time. My car has not left the driveway like it hasn't left the driveway in a week. I get to save on gas. I like staying at home too. I'm just saying. But guys, this is where I'm going to end the live, and I appreciate you joining. Thank you so much. And yeah, let's all encourage and uplift and try to empower each other, because I just can't get over, I guess because I'm in a different space mentally where I've leveled up, so I'm thinking differently about a lot of things. But being at home for like almost 2 years unemployed, and I have a license and I can do something with that license, like your license in Jamaica, you can stay in Jamaica and have clients in Argentina because it's not illegal and you are licensed. It's not like you're just some Oricoma person who don't know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You have a wealth of knowledge. You have a repository of knowledge. You have a bank of knowledge. You can find somebody who needs help with their allergy, and you help. People are going to pay you for your brilliance. But if you don't have a job, you're an employee, and you don't go to the pharmacy for a year and a half or two, they're not going to pay you. They're not going to pay you. They're already doing the marketing and everything else. So my encouragement to you is to get out of your head and find support, because you know way more than you think you know. All right. So I will see you all tomorrow. I have several things that I could talk to you about on my Sunday live. I did not even realize the week went by so fast that tomorrow is Sunday. It was today I realized that today is Saturday. So I have some things that I want to share, excited news coming out for Express Entry, and yeah, all the other things. I know I said I would not have come on here, but I thought I would just share this with you all. And I hope somebody found value in it and that you took at least one lesson out of it. Hi, Katania and Kadisha and Shanique and Andre and Karine and Natisha and John and okay, J. Marie. I'm not sure. I don't know your name for sure. And Samantha and I don't know the person name, Javarn and Trudy and yes, hi Alana. I'm not gonna forget you, Alana. So guys, thank you so much for joining in. I'm gonna save this live. I don't know who needs to hear this, but somebody needs to hear this, and this is gonna stay on my page for a while. So thank you all so much, and have yourself a great evening or morning. It depends on where you are, because it could be, oh no, it's not morning in the UK yet. Take care. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. my time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time. I will see you then. All right. Take care. Bye.